Time now for our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Get the shots up, keep them up. The Devils are allowing a boatload this year, 34 a game, and the Penguins want to do that. They want to back check as well, and they got it from Malkin, Crosby, and everybody in Nashville. Stop this man, 19 overtime goals in his career and 125 game winners, and that's the man to stop him right there.
The Flower. He's had a tough career against the Devils, relatively speaking, that is. And Cory Schneider is now the man between the pipes for the New Jersey Devils.
Yeah, is he ever, Staggy? No more. Martin Brodeur. Schneider started 8 of 9 for the Devils.
Mike Johnston saying that he compared the Nashville system the other night to what the Devils do, so he hopes the Penguins will do more of what they did Saturday night against New Jersey. Referees Dan O'Rourke and Mike Lego, Brian Murphy and Jean Moran are the linesmen. Jaromir Jagr starts the hockey game for the Devils, and a shot, they score right away. Dainis Subris rips it up underneath the crossbar on the glove side of Fleury. And the Devils strike first. That's only the second time this season the Penguins have allowed the first goal.
9 seconds into the hockey game, the Devils are 3-0-1 when they score first to Marc-Andre Fleury. Oh, he had barely enough time to put his water bottle back on top of the crossbar. I don't know if that went off a defender's stick or not. As Letang tried to get stick on puck, it just sizzles over that left arm of Marc-Andre Fleury, and for Subris, his second of the season, 9 seconds into the game. Wow.
So now the Penguins find themselves behind quickly. Here's Olimata with a puck, sending it up the wall, racing over to get it to Steve Downing. Try to move it to the middle to Brandon Sutter, but the Devils break it up. Penguins retreat. And a shot by Spalling is stopped by Schneider with a blocker. Spalling looks for the puck behind the net. He's being held up there a bit and can't get to it. Letang does, though. Sutter is bumped from behind by Jaromir Jagr, but got the puck to the corner. And now it's Andy Green trying to get it out. Jaromir Jagr, 42 years old, to be 43 on February 15th. Says he wants to play till he's 50.
Well, we all wanted to play till we're 50, but he actually might be able to do it.
Here's Crosby firing, save, and a rebound cleared by Bryce Salvador. Sid again to the point, and Ehrhoff chops down and can't keep it in. And Damian Brunner will dump it to the Penguin zone. Fleury plays it there, around for Paul Martin. Off his stick and controlled now in the corner. Ryan Close in and around for Elias. Shot in front for Brunner off his stick. Martin tried to clear. Bryce Salvador holds it in. Big Ryan Clough over there, number 29. He's a big dude, 6'3", 225, but the Penguins get the puck. Kunitz' pass for Hornquist goes off the boards, and they'll drive it in behind. Schneider got a piece of it. It comes out now to Ehrhoff, and a shot blocked, and it squirts over to the near side. Clough trying to play it there on the wall in his own zone. Hornquist was hooked up again as he tried to get to the puck. Wanted a penalty, nothing called. He goes right to the front of the net as Ehrhoff shoots it, and it's just wide of the goal. Over to the near side is Simon Desprez. Desprez trying to control, but left it there for Crosby. His attempt to chop it in front went off a stick, and it comes right down to Kunitz. And his shot hits a skate. And now it's Zidlichki for New Jersey trying to get it out to Ryan Clough. The Devils were in their zone a long time, but they didn't allow a scoring opportunity. Penguins come back, though. Desprez with a shot and a save by Schneider. And then Desprez and Bryce Salvador, the captain of the Devils, joust for a moment as the puck is frozen.
Well, Pete DeBoer got Jagr on the ice. First shift of the hockey game. Jagr gets an assist on the Subris goal in his 4th season with the Devils. Former Kitchener Ranger coach, where he won the Memorial Cup and the Ontario Hockey League Championship as well there with the Kitchener Rangers.
Battle on the wall. Malkin is there. Comes down to Dupuis, and his shot off the stick of Damon Severson. Remember that name. He's off to a great start for the New Jersey Devils. We got our barrel leaders here. So many scoring leaders on the ice tonight. And Jaromir Jagr ranks very high in a lot of categories, and #1 in overtime goals after beating the Senators the other night with his 19th overtime game winner. Jagr was very cordial today in the locker room with the Pittsburgh media. He complimented Bob Airey and Phil Bourque as members of that Penguin team in 91 and 92 as being key guys. Here's Jaromir Jagr with it now into the Penguin zone. Left it there on the right side for Zajac, who slaps it high and wide over the near side. Andy Green worked it to the corner. Zajac trying to find it there. So is Subris. And the Penguins get possession. Olimata's right wing pass went off a stick. And Malkin can't get to it first. Green just sent it right back to the Penguin line. D to D they go. Martin to Como. He lifts it into the Devil zone. Zach Sill charging down the wall, trying to protect. He does. Sill to the point and Ehrhoff. Quick wrister, and that one deflected wide of the goal. Over to the near side, it's Craig Adams. Adams in behind the net now, turning. Poked away from him up the wall. Devils trying to get it out, and they finally do work it back to neutral ice. Sill with a hard shot. Schneider down to his knees, made the save. The Penguins shooting the puck on Schneider, making the saves.
Steggy, 2 of the 3 Penguin shots were off bad changes by the Devils. The one by Dupre, that one there by Sill.
Penguins battle to get possession in their own zone. They really did a great job in the work ethic department against Nashville the other night. Bobby mentioned it during the broadcast. There was a lot of play on the wall in that game. Reed Boucher tried to move it to the right wing, and Ehrhoff steps up on the man and forces the turnover, and Crosby couldn't get it deep. Now he gets a stick on puck to keep it in the neutral zone, gets possession, moves it back to Rob Scuderi.
The key is to put those games together. You can't just put the boots on for one game. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 games in a row, and that's the kind of consistency they're looking for.
Penguins were feeling embarrassed, I think, a little bit after the way they blew the lead in New Jersey, and they really circled the wagons. Here's Scuderi with it now to Dupre, and his shot is blocked by Reed Boucher, playing his first game of the season for New Jersey. He's a talented offensive player, just called up from Albany with the jaw injury to Mike Camilleri. Martin Havlat, another good offensive player they acquired in the offseason, is also out of the lineup tonight for New Jersey. But they do have a goal on the board as Dainis Zubras cashed in only 9 seconds into the game, in case you just joined us. Olimata's pass intercepted by Giunta. Now for Josephson. Back to the corner, and Olimata moves it in front to his partner, Chris Letang. Snaps it out in center ice. Drop pass for Sutter. Sutter trying to get it to the net. Spalling charging in there. Now Downey fans on a bouncing puck. Just couldn't get any blade on that. And the rolling puck is handled now by Bryce Salvador, one of the over 35 defensemen on the Devils. He's 38. Zidlicky is 37. But they also have some very young defensemen in their lineup. And there's some young defensemen who were drafted here in Pittsburgh in 2012, including young defenseman Damon Severson, who's only 20 years old. The 22nd defenseman taken in that draft. The end of the second round here in Pittsburgh, and he's off to a great start with 4 goals already for New Jersey.
Yeah, and there's the other one. You got to look at Mata. How about Pouliot? He had a goal and assist for Wilkes-Barre last night in the last hockey game.
Schneider with a good save on Dupuis, and then the Penguins unable to get to the rebound. Andy Green with it. Green is paired up with Severson, and Green is an underrated defenseman.
Yeah, nobody gets more ice time than Andy Green, although Severson had 27. Severson in the last hockey game. An overtime win against Ottawa.
Flo behind the net, looks for Bruner. Damian Bruner. Now to Elias. He's another ageless wonder. Elias, he's 38. Severson drives it into the Penguin zone. Only Mata will go back and get it. Mata, at the age of 20, with such grace and courage, handling this situation with his health just the way he's handled his career so far. Mature beyond his years for sure. Now Blake Como gets in after it, along with Kunitz. And it is Dainis Zubras just spinning it back out to neutral ice. By the way, it was Zubras from Zajac and Yager 9 seconds in. 13:55 to go in the first. Penguins with 5 shots. The only shot for the Devils, the one that went in. There's one wide. Now it's Salvador pushing it down the wall. Salvador and Yager teaming up. Salvador continues to carry. Puts it behind now for Zubras, but he couldn't play it. It came off the glass right to Paul Martin. Now it's Hornquist coming in the right wing corner, and Zidlicky gets back to play. Gave it away to Kunitz. He tried to steer it in front of Crosby. Couldn't get it through. And now on the left wing, it's Zubras. Martin stepped up, got a stick on it. Kunitz can't get it deep. Crosby tried to move it back to Martin. It was intercepted by Jaromir Jagr. Jagr drops it back on defense to John Merrill, another young defenseman in the lineup for the Devils, only 22 years old.
Yeah, Merrill first rounder in 2010.
And this is Reed Boucher with it. Puck wanders off his stick. He's trying to get it back. Works it to the corner. Henrique sent it out to the point. And Eric Jelena, who played with Simon Desprez in St. John in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, shoots it up into the netting, and so we'll take a break. 12:52 to go in the first period. The Devils, 1 shot, 1 goal.
Devils needing just 9 seconds to get on the board and having 1-0 lead here in the first. Our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update takes us back to the morning skate where Robert Bortuzzo continues to skate with the team as he was also joined by Bo Bennett, who did the same for the first time since being injured in training camp. Both players are dealing with lower body injuries. Bortuzzo should return to game action in the next 5 to 6 days, while Bennett needs a little bit more time before he starts taking contact. Positive news, guys, for both of them.
Can't wait to see Bo Bennett back in the lineup. The way he was playing in training camp. A top 6 forward in waiting, I would say. Here's a goal by Como. A turnover by the Devils. And then Como just poked it in over the line into the net. And the Penguins have tied the game. Blake Como just tapping it in with a blade of a stick.
Well, it's not Marty Brodeur behind there playing the puck. It's Corey Snyder. He doesn't play like Brodeur. Doesn't get to the stick of Merrill. Shuffled in front by the Penguins forechecker. Take a look at Dupuis. And tapped in by Como into a wide open cage. Yeah, it would never have happened with Martin Brodeur, who just would have wrapped it around the wall. Miscommunication there between Merrill and Snyder. It's 1-1.
Como now has 7 goals, 13 points in 23 career games against the Devils. So he's put some good numbers up against New Jersey in his career. I'd like to see how that compares to the other teams in the league. There's a shot by Severson that hit a man in the high slot. The Penguins get control of it. Hornquist moves it out in center now to Sidney Crosby, and he'll dump it up into the corner. Severson goes back to play it. Crosby's on him. By the way, they share a birthday. Severson also born on August 7th. Ehrhoff backhands one wide of the net. Crosby after. Severson chases him out towards the blue line. Shot by Merton, deflected wide of the net by Hornquist. Right in front of the goal, bouncing puck and cleared by Severson. He had the presence to look around, find it, and then ice it. As it sat there at his skates right in the paint.
Thought for a second he might kick that in. That puck floated up in the air. Nobody could track it down. Off a block there by Andy Green. Nobody could find it. It got in behind the Devils netminder, and Severson was able to keep it out on the other side. But it is an icing against the Devils and a fresh legs on the ice for Pittsburgh.
Como gets to the puck off the draw. Here's Martin shooting, and another deflection wide of the net. Ehrhoff looks for Malkin. It went off his right skate. Comes back to center where Paul Martin will handle it there. Martin slips it down the right wing wall. Andy Green goes back to play. Hit by Blake Como. It's been physical for the Penguins. Now Dupuis hustling to get back here as Gianta swings wide on Ehrhoff. Shoots it off the blocker of Fleury to the near side. Over to get it is Jakob Josefsson. He couldn't control it, and Como had it. Gianta knocked it off his stick. Back to the Devil defense where Bryce Salvador takes it for New Jersey. Over to Marek Zidlichki, and he dumps it in. Martin just so nifty with that stick. Just tapped it off the wall so the Penguins could drain out the zone. Now Downey with a shooting blocker save made by Schneider. Gianta's got it. Picked up now by Reed Boucher. Now to Josefsson. His shot, going to save. And he controls the rebound against that blocker. On a special Inside Pirates Baseball, look back at Neil Walker's incredible season. His 21st home run on Clemente Day confirmed his connection to the Great One and highlighted a season that saw Walker reach new levels. See it all on Inside Pirates Baseball Walk and Roll tomorrow at 6 on Root Sports.
Zubris, Zajac, Jágr, they played together here for a couple of years. All well over 6 feet tall. Jágr's stick looks longer than it ever has. And he skates over in a hunched over style, and it's kind of uses that long stick to protect that puck and his big backside. Still as good as ever, and that's what Mike Johnson said this morning. You just can't get the puck off him.
It looks to me, Bob, and you tell me if it looks like he keeps his bottom hand a little higher on the stick than a lot of guys.
Yeah, he does. His hands are close together. Definitely closer together than the normal player.
And that's the way James Neal carries his stick too, by the way. One of the reasons why he gets so much whip action on that stick. And of course, Jaromir Jágr, he gets a fair amount of whip on his shots too.
He's got that big toe curve too, Staggy Jágr. It's certainly illegal, but they're not going to be called.
Zubris hands it off. Shot off the goalpost by Zajac, and the rebound, where is it? Mata tried to clear it. Jágr tried to get a stick on it. Wow, we had a couple of close calls with pucks bouncing around behind the goaltenders here so far. On the left wing, it's Kunitz. Salvador is back. Kunitz and Hornquist charging in. Kunitz looks to Crosby. It bounced off his stick, and then his shot was blocked. This is Zajac dumping it in. Turns and goes to the bench. Scuderi, 35-year-old defenseman of the Penguins, has it. Over to partner Simon Despres. He works it up the right wing and off the stick of Adams. Greg Adams playing in his 296th consecutive game here tonight for the Penguins. Eric Jelinek can't flag it down. Great hustle there by Zach Sill to get around John Merrill and move it to the point, and the shot by Scuderi floats into the slot. Gotch hopped to it and moved it along now for Adams. Back now behind the goal for Marcel Gotch. Finally, Michael Ryder calmly brings it out of his own zone, and they head down to number 18, Reed Boucher. By the way, I referred to Ruutu as Boucher earlier. Number 15 is Tuomo Ruutu. 18 is Reed Boucher. We'll get that straight. Now here's Ryder with it down at the blue line, and an offside call on the Devils.
Well, that Yager line, Zubrus and Zajac, has been dangerous. One more goalpost there by Zajac, and Marc-Andre Fleury giving his buddy a little loving. 1-1 here, Nick. Thanks for joining us. You know, you're pretty familiar with the bench coach and the other squad, Pete DeBoer. He won an OHL championship. What does he bring to the table?
Yeah, he was a good coach for us. You know, he brings a strong system, and I think he gets the guys to all buy in. And I think, you know, they proved that with this team.
How does your role differ on this club than from your old team, the Nashville Predators?
I don't think there's a huge change. I think it's the same style of game I want to bring. I want to work hard and just bring some energy every show.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
And Staggy, there's Pete DeBoer, the bench boss of these New Jersey Devils. Not a lot of expression on his face. And, well, we got some help from the truck, and they said the fastest goal against 8 seconds. Kyle Wellwood against the Penguins back in October of 2011. Devils scored 9 seconds in tonight.
Como with it, leaves it now for Paul Martin. He centers to Malkin right out of his reach. And now a lead pass to center ice, taken by Elias. Converging on him was Ehrhoff to slow him down. He just didn't have the foot speed to really take advantage of that extra ice he had. Now Malkin with it. Ehrhoff controls. Dupuis sends it right back to Ehrhoff. The Penguins are changing as Ehrhoff looks around and sends it over to his partner, Paul Martin. Martin with it, up ahead down to Crosby. Slap pass to the corner for Kunitz. Sends it back around to the corner for Sidney Crosby. He tried to center, 7:57 to go in the first. The game is tied at 1. Steven Gionta gets to the puck and moves it to the Penguin line. And Despres sends it right back into New Jersey territory. Salvador back to play, and Hornquist got in the way and kind of mucking it up down there. Lost his stick. It's broken 2. And now Zidlichki sends it back out to the neutral zone where Gionta tried to get it down the boards, but Scuderi and Downey team up to keep it there. It'll be Spaulding dropping it back to Despres. Despres with it. Does the Devils system remind you a little bit of what the Penguins were doing to the Predators the other night, Bob, in the neutral zone? Similar thing is that the Penguins seem to be playing on 1-2-2 now. Here's Yager.
They are. Talked to Mike Johnson this morning. He said, yeah, we want to get one system straight before we try to introduce some other ones. He thought they were kind of getting caught in between a couple of different defensive systems. So 1-2-2, and they will incorporate the 1-3-1 as they move along.
And the Devils have played the 1-2-2 for forever.
Oh, boy.
Shot by Jelinek, steered away by Fleury. Merrill pokes it down into the corner, and Zubrus is there. Mata had to take it away from him, and Jaromir Jagr's got it. Turns that big backside to Mata and protect the puck. So hard to reach around Jagr to get to it. And now it'll become to Letang, and we got a penalty coming up here. And I think Jagr eventually drew one, or maybe Zubrus down there in the corner.
It's going to be a hold. And it looks like Mr. Downey is heading towards the penalty box. He was on his way there. He's checking his stick out right now. Downey working down low. Wraps up Zubrus with both arms. So they're going to call that when you get your stick around there and the man goes down.
We mentioned Neil Walker earlier being our subject of Inside Pirates Baseball, but right now he's enjoying a hockey game right here at Consol Energy Center. He grew up in Pittsburgh. You know he's a big hockey fan. 6:26 to go in the period, and the Penguins are shorthanded. The Devils on the power play. It's been pretty good this year. They try a redirect there by Elias in the high slot. He steered it wide of the net into the corner, taken there by Ryan Clough. He moves it out now to Zidlichki. Down into the slot again, and Elias again steering it wide, and Damian Brunner sends it up the wall now.
They're second in the league this power play against the Penguins, who have killed 15 straight penalties.
They've scored 2 or more power play goals 3 times this season already. Here's Clough with it. And the Penguins have killed 15 straight and want to make it 16 right here to keep this score even. Severson with it. Across now to Zidlichki. The slap shot off the goalpost. That's 2 posts here in the period. Severson with it again. Zidlichki again. That's off the outside of the cage, not so much the post. And the puck is cleared by the Penguins to center. No further. Severson has it there.
Well, they're able to set up that umbrella up top, and they have left shooters and right shooters. A lot of different options on this power play. A lot of different looks, and they have shot first mentality. You can see every time they got that puck, they were getting it toward the cage.
Merrill drops it off to Henrique. Zajac with speed into the Penguin zone, left it for Jágr. He tried to get it back to Zajac, but only Mata stepped in the way of that, and he's able to dispatch it the length of the ice. 35 seconds to go on the penalty.
Really good job by Nick Spaulding there to jump up on Jágr when he tried to stop just inside that blue line.
Jágr with it again. Feeds it into the middle now for Jelena, the defense, but he overskated in center turns. He gave it away to Zajac. Jelena trying to find it. Jágr got a stick on it. Eric Jelena, bumped by Mata. Jágr steps in. Letang hits him hard from behind. Now Como takes the man, Henrique, but he is able to get the puck to Zajac, who's unable to hold it in. 6 seconds to go on the penalty. This is Henrique with it to Jágr. Jágr looks around, open man, stumping in on the right side. He couldn't get it all the way through to the receiver, so now he tries to get it to the net. Crosby and Martin got in the middle of that. Dick Crosby finds Como. Penguins at full strength. Downey back on the ice, and he has the puck. Downey shoots it to the corner. Crosby in after it. Finds Ehrhoff. Cross now for Martin, who was jumped from behind by Ryder, who just came off the bench. Now Elias gets a stick on it to Henrique, and back to Elias, who dumps it off the wall, trying to get to it himself. Ehrhoff got a stick in there, and now Downey steps in to feed it along to Crosby. 2-on-2 with Kuna. Crosby trying to get around Severson. Couldn't do that. Severson didn't get it out, but now it is popped up over the wall and into the bench on the far side. Back in a moment. Game tied at 1. Penguins have killed 16 straight.
Well, there's Gary Agnew. He's in charge of the penalty killers. The first 3 games, the Penguins allowed a lot of passes through that house, through the box area. In the last 4, yes, they killed them all. 16 consecutive, if you include the one here tonight. They moved from 30th to 17th. That familiarity, they're starting to get that. A few different pieces on the penalty killers this year from last year's Tony Granato penalty killing units. Good job.
Here come the Devils. Ryder. And blockered out of there by Fleury. Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob and Jay. Dan Potash will speak with Blake Como, the Penguins goal scorer, getting an opportunity to play with Evgeny Malkin and Pascal Dupuis. And enjoying it. I asked him about it today. I said, how do you like playing with those guys? He really love it. He's starting to get a little feel for one another, he said, but he's got the speed to keep up with those guys.
And he can still play that rugged game. 25 hits on the season coming in. He was 13th in the NHL last year in that hitting department.
Yeah, Bob, and he said that he said, I can go get pucks for G and Duper. I can go get G, he called him. I can go get pucks for G and Duper. Here's Dupre with it now around, and it's not going to leave the zone, but now Dupre gets another whack at it as he moves it along to Sutter. His pass goes behind Malkin.
2 centermen on the ice again for Mike Johnson's Penguin hockey team.
Sutter's still looking for his first assist of the season. He's got 2 goals. One of them shorthanded. Here's Olli Mata with it now. 3:09 to go in the period. Dupuis just touches and it goes up into the Devils zone. The Penguins exhibited a tremendous amount of patience the other night against the Predators, and they'll have to exhibit that again here tonight against the Devils. You always have to be a patient team against them. They're not going to give you much, and you can't get frustrated. Here's Fleury behind the net. They're allowing more shots this year than usual, but they're still the Devils. Here's Josefsson with it. The Devils scored 11 goals in their first 2 games. They've scored only 14 in their last 6. 15 if you include this one. And he exploded, and I think gave people the impression they were going to score a ton of goals this year. They're missing Camilleri, as we said.
Hand pass there.
So, chance to look back in Penguins history, brought to you by Day Automotive.
What do we got? Hat tricks? We got Crosby hat trick against the Flyers back in '06. He's got a couple of hat tricks on this date. Does Sidney Crosby?
He loves to go down to Philly and silence those people down there. And that's what he did that night for sure. Here's Martin feeding it in behind the net. Sutter chasing Merrill to the corner. Look at this battle in the trenches. Who's going to win it? The Devils come away with a puck.
They had more bodies down there. Of course they were going to come up with that puck. You got to outman the opponent.
Zajac and Martin go back, and Martin just leaned against Zajac, so he couldn't get to the puck. But Ehrhoff goes down, so does one of the Devils. And the puck there with Martin able to move it along to Sutter, poked off his stick. Martin gets over to get another stick on it. Martin is so subtle in the things that he does. It's really something to watch. Here's Downey with it now.
Well, he was so good. 2000 draft pick of the Devils, a second round pick. So good there in those 400 games. Signed as a free agent by Ray Shero.
Dupre stepped up. Bruder shoots it. Blocked by Scuderi. Bruder got his own rebound and back into the side of the net. Schneider goes to the bench here. A delayed penalty. In effect, the Penguins get possession, and the Devils will have a power play for the remainder of the period unless they score. And then it would carry over if they don't.
Well, Simon Dupre goes to the box. 2 minutes for a trip.
47 tripping.
And the Penguins fortunate in this first period. 2 goal posts to the blocker side of Marc-Andre Fleury. And there's the trip as Dupre tried to step up on Patrick Elias. One of those high-scoring Czech Republic players. He and Jágr, the 2 highest scoring in the history of the National Hockey League. Born in the Czech Republic.
New Jersey was 0 for 1, or is 0 for 1. They had 1 shot on their first power play.
1 minute remaining in the period.
Marcel Gottsch able to dump it to the Devils zone. Under a minute remaining in the period. Zidlichki with it now for New Jersey.
Pretty quick change by the Penguins there, Steggy. 20 seconds and a change.
Zidlichki trying to get around Olimata. Stalling and Letang converge on the puck. Letang got a lot on it, but not enough to get it out. Elias handed it off to Bruner. 37 seconds in the period. Bruner across the ice. Off a stick. Severson has it though. Severson, beautiful saucer pass to Zidlichki. Now to Bruner on the near side. Is hit by Letang. Sent by Clough around to the opposite side for Elias. Elias holds it. Works it down low. Big Ryan Clough looks for Zidlichki. Good read by Spaulding. He took it away. Stick in the lane. And he's able to dump it into the Devils zone, and then should pretty much do it. We're down to 7 seconds. Maybe one more rush here for the Devils with a man advantage. Henrique over the line. They work it in behind the net 1 second ago. And with 43 seconds remaining on the penalty to Dupre, the Penguins go to the locker room tied at 1 with the New Jersey Devils.
I didn't think anybody really carried a lot of momentum in that period. Games against the Devils kind of turned a little disjointed at times, Staggy, and I felt that first period was the same way.
Let's go to Robin Jay.
Staggy Bob, thanks very much, Jay. He barely had time to sit down, and the New Jersey Devils were up 1-0, but the Penguins did rally back and now tied at 1 after 20.
Yeah, it's just, it was one of those things. It was right off, like you said, right off the face-off, maybe off a Letang stick and went high. But again, Pittsburgh just got back to work, and I believe they had the next 7-8 shots in the game. But as Bob just said, Jersey Devils, when you play them, it pretty much looks like this all the time. They'll capitalize on opportunities, and that's what they're waiting to do right there.
Blake Como gets the goal for the Penguins. Dan Potash is going to catch up with him. Jay's going to tell us straight highlights from around the league and Jay's thoughts on the second period, all coming up next on the First Intermission Report. Former National Hockey League player Jay Caulfield is in his 8th season as a Pens analyst. Caulfield played football, not hockey, at the University of North Dakota. He was a Penguin for 5 seasons, including 2 cup-winning seasons. Spectacular shot of the city of Pittsburgh coming down the incline on an absolutely beautiful night in late October. That's outside. Inside, it is Chris Letang bobblehead night. Every fan receiving a Chris Letang bobblehead. That is, by the way, the Chris Letang with hair bobblehead. Of course, he cut it off prior to the beginning of this season. The Penguins and the Devils are tied up at 1 as we get ready for the second period of play. Let's go back upstairs where Paul Steigerwald is with Bob Airy between the benches. Guys.
Well, Bob, what do you think of that first period?
Well, it was a quick start by the Devils, scoring 9 seconds in, but not a lot of action. The Devils, you know, they don't bring a lot physically. They only had 3 hits in the period, Staggy. They trap it up. They want to slow it down. They don't want to give you any momentum. And the Penguins can't get into penalty trouble because that's going to give them even less momentum. And so let's kill this penalty off by Simon Dupre and get back to work.
Let's take a look at the ice time leaders.
And there it is, Chris Letang, Ole Mott and Paul Martin, 3 defensemen for the Penguins. Typically in this situation, you would see Rob Scuderi on the ice. He is the ice time leader this season, killing penalties for the Penguins. And we'll see who starts. It'll be Mata and Letang again starting on this one. Only Mata, 7:25 in that first period of play. Simon Dupre in the penalty box. A trip as he tried to stand up on the blue line. But you want to kill this penalty off for sure. The Penguins have killed off 16 straight so far in the last 4.5 hockey games.
Well, let's see if the Penguins can continue their streak of killing penalties. They've done 16 and a half so far straight. And the Devils control here to start the second period. Zidlitsky with it. Zajac. Yager over there on the left has the puck now, moves it along for Henrique. And he sends it back around, and only Mata there to get it out, but he couldn't clear. Zidlitsky held it in for Yager. Yager looking for Severson sneaking around in the back door. Severson will take it now after the shot went wide. Over to Zidlitsky to Yager. Yager to the slot. Severson a drive, and that is blocked. And Adams over to the puck. Dupre's on the ice. Ole Mata stick handles over the line, but offside is called.
It's going to be an interference call, either a hold here on the Devils. Zajac.
New Jersey minor penalty 19, holding.
And the Penguins will go to the power play, but boy, that was a hard shot by Severson that Letang had to step in the way of. Take a look. Right in the neutral zone. Whoop. Down goes Gotch. And the Penguins go to the power play. Letang's going to stay on the ice here.
A UPMC Sports Medicine power play. Penguins are 10 for 25 through 7 games.
Crosby's going to get kicked out of this faceoff circle. The reason why Kunitz jumped off the half wall. You can't move in before the puck is dropped, and Kunitz forces Crosby to be kicked out of this circle. Let's see if it affects anything.
Kunitz kicked it over to the wall nicely after the puck was dropped. That maintains the possession for the Penguins on this power play as Crosby to the net. Hornquist trying to reach it as the rebound jumped off the equipment of Schneider, and back out the center they regroup. Crosby across now for Malkin. Salvador there. Letang holds it in. Crosby to Malkin. Steven Giunta up top on the penalty kill along with Patrick Elias. Green and Salvador are back, and here's a chance right at the side of the net. Crosby whacking away at it. Schneider's down on all fours. The puck squirting around. Kunitz got a hold of it. Now it's out of the reach of Crosby and taken by Letang. Over to Sid. Crosby trying to go to the side of the net. Salvador got a stick on it. All the way out to Letang. He shoots off the skate of Kunitz, who tried to jump up in the air and let it go through. Going off his skate, and the Devils get it to center, no further. And Malkin to Letang. Malkin was hit after he let go of the puck by Steven Giunta. And Crosby's got it in the corner. Back up top to Gino. Crosby slap pass, trying to go through the box. This is Josefson. In on Fleury. He scores. Jakob Josefsson with a shorthanded goal. And the Devils lead 2-1.
Well, we saw him play across seas years ago, Staggy. Only his third game this season. His first goal, he doesn't score many goals at all for the Devils. He had a tough time making it, getting a regular shift in the National Hockey League, but that was a big-time move as he went to the backhand, elevated the puck over the left pad of Marc-Andre Fleury. And that'll be the first shorthanded goal against for the Penguins this season, after they had about 6 whacks at the left pad of Snyder down at the other end. A little timeout here as the horn sounds. We want to take a look at it.
Well, I must say, the Penguins got a little too cute with the puck there as they tried to play it at the point. Malkin, of course, not a defenseman, was out there at the blue line, and they turned it over. So
yep. Josefsson, first choice, 20th overall in the 2009 draft.
Yep, he played for Djurgården. We went over to Sweden several years ago with the Ottawa Senators and played a couple of games to open the season there. He was the talk of that team, a young guy who was going to be drafted in the first round, and the Devils got him.
You're going to take a look and make sure that this didn't go over the goal line here. The pad of Snyder was there. They just want to make sure that the puck, it wasn't under his skate or his pad was not behind that goal line. So that overhead shows you the puck was not over the goal line. This goal will count. And for Josefsson, that's his first point against the Penguins in 12 career hockey games. He's played 121 games in the National Hockey League. That's his 8th goal. You couldn't tell from the overhead. That's a better look at it there, guys. And boy, that puck was closer than I thought on the overhead. And that's why they're still looking at it. The question is, can you see that puck over that goal line? You can see the pad and the skate.
Sure looks like it's underneath the pad and all the way over.
Boy, that's close. I'm getting a big look on the overhead, and that
it's just hard to say
really
whether it's
close,
all
guys.
the way over. Is it all the way over the line? And
I couldn't tell from this one at all. I could not see the puck, but from that other angle, you can really see that puck. And they're going to blow that up, and the Penguins may find themselves ahead in this hockey game. I don't know if we can go back. One more look to this one, guys. Can you see the puck all the way over that goal line? You know it's under the left pad there. But what am I looking at? Am I looking at puck? Is it all the way over? Can I see the puck all the way over? Or is that part of his pad as well, that black that you see? That looks like all puck, but is it all the way across that goal line? It's got to be all the way across the red. That is awfully close.
it might
Boy.
very well be all the way across, but the question is, can you see it all the way across? And I don't think you can.
I don't know. This is really close. There was at one point there, you almost thought you could see a little white space there. And they're going to blow that up in the Situation Room, and they're taking an awful long look at this. And this will wash off the Devil goal if it's a goal for the Penguins, and the Penguins will go ahead here. Boy, that is so close.
Boy, right there. Right
That's
there, you
right
can
there.
see white. You can see white between black. Right
White
there,
all
Bob.
the way?
Yep, right there.
All the way across that
Yep.
line? Oof.
Okay. That's a great replay, guys, and thank you so much for zooming in on that. That was tremendous.
Upon review of the play at the New Jersey net, it's inconclusive, so the call on the ice stands, no goal. Therefore, this is a good goal.
It was inconclusive to me and to you, I'm sure, Bob, until that last zoom in that we just did.
Yeah,
that
well,
was pretty
I still wasn't
conclusive.
sure. I wasn't sure even there, to be honest with you.
Really? I
Yeah.
saw white between. I
I
saw
saw
white
some
between
white.
black and red.
But there's also snow on the ice, too.
Either way, it doesn't matter what we think. The game is now a 2-1 hockey game in favor of the Devils, and the Penguins still have 30 seconds to work with on the power play.
Oh, boy, that was so close. That could have went either way.
Here's Olimata with it now. Shoots it, and gloved by Corey Schneider, and he holds on to it.
Well, It's a game of millimeters here in Pittsburgh. And a shorthanded goal by the Devils has put them up 2-1. The Penguins still with 19 seconds left on the power play.
Face off to the right of Corey Schneider. It'll be Crosby against Steven Giunta from the draw taken by Mata. Over to Letang. Hornquist is in front of the net. Mata with it. Over to Crosby. Trying a one-touch pass through the box. And it's directed back to center. We're down to 4 seconds on this Penguin power play. Letang going to do it himself. Throws it in front. And the shot is blocked beautifully by Zubers as Crosby shot it from close range. Crosby's got it again. Up top now. This is Mata shooting. Blocked. Devils, Giunta trying to get it out. Zubers will carry it. Devils are at full strength as Zubers is hit by Hornquist. Mata's got it. Moves it along to Sidney Crosby. And Crosby scoring back for Pittsburgh. Crosby centers in. Tunis guns it over the goal. Crosby again out to Martin, and he can't keep it in with his glove.
Good speed by Crosby on that last rush. We saw Letang take the puck wide with a burst of speed of his own.
Falling, tried to feed it along to Como. Devils counterattack. Clough. His shot hit Ehrhoff, and Malkin ends up with it. Over to Como. Blake Como dumps it in and gets in after it first. Como, good puck retrieval there. Centers for Spalling. He chopped that into one of those blocked. And Malkin gets to the puck. For Martin, the pass too hard, and it goes all the way back into the Penguin zone.
Devils do a good job pushing up from their defense. There's a pinch from their defense as well. So they're not sitting back. They're being aggressive, not trying to take away time.
Malkin's shot wide of the goal. And Dupre can't keep it in with his right skate. Scuderi back to get it. Now Michael Ryder over there. Sutter took it away to Scuderi. Dupre with a quick turn moves it up down the right wing. Downey can't get into the Devils zone. They're doing a great job playing their system in the neutral zone. There's a big hit down there by Reed Boucher. And this is Simon Dupre banking it off the glass up into the Devils zone. Bouncing puck. Andy Green going back to get it.
I love the communication. I could hear Scuderi saying wheel, wheel, wheel as Simon Dupre got that puck behind the Penguins goal line.
This is Dupre, or Dupuis rather, to Adams, and his shot steered away by Schneider to the near side. Andy Green will lug it back for New Jersey now to center. Giunta with it, shoots it, save, rebound, score. The Devils get another one. And it is number 15, Tuomo Ruutu, going to the net and chopping in the rebound behind Fleury to make it 3-1.
Well, Staggy, you know, you talk about puck support. The Penguins dump the puck in. Watch all the Devils. You're going to have 5 Devils in that circle. Look at them. They're just going to compact into that quadrant. And then they break the puck out. And there's nobody in between the Penguins forwards and the defenders. They have the F3 forward who's really high in Pascal Dupuis, but they can't sort out the rush. It's a 3-on-3 coming back. There's the pass off the pads. Next thing you know, there's 2 Devils at the net. Letang can't take both at the same time. There was a 3-on-3 rush coming at them with the pass off the pads, and Ruutu puts it into the empty cage. 3-1.
The second of the season of the Devils. After scoring a shorthanded goal, come right back and get an even strength goal after the Penguins failed to score in the rest of their power play. And they have taken control of this hockey game for the time being. We'll see if the Penguins can push back. Ehrhoff with it now. He'll dump it in.
Energy. Penguins need energy right now. They need to make some contact and get a couple of good shifts in a row. 1, 2, 3 good shifts in the Devils zone.
Devils are doing a great job. They've been road warriors, and they're going to have to be. 22 of the first 33 games this season are on the road for New Jersey. They have a better road record than home record. Here's Jágr with it now. Poked off his stick. They're 4-1 on the road. They're 0-1-2 at home. Adams trying to dump it in. And that's the key right there. I mean, they did not dump it in, and Clough comes back. Jágr goes to the front of the net as Clough finds Zidlichki, but his pass is an an errant one, and Salvador retreated to center, now dumps it inside the line. The Devils change. And Scuderi with it over to Paul Martin.
Well, you're right. You can't shoot yourself in the foot. The Penguins just turned it over at the far blue line. The Devils, look at them, trapping up the neutral zone. You're going to have to get it here and go to work. Might be a hard wraparound so Schneider doesn't play it. Although he has misplayed one puck here that led to the only Penguin goal. So the Penguins, they get some offensive zone time here just from a simple dump in, just to the goalie.
Devils are so patient in their own zone right now, methodically bringing that puck out of their own end. And now here's Zalitsky with it. Look out. Zalitsky looks for Damian Brunner. Good read there, though, by Como. He's tried to spring Dupuis up the middle, and the pass too hard. Dupuis couldn't take it, and Schneider freezes it. A couple of goals by the Devils have made it 3-1 here in the second period.
This is the Devils' third goal. Pascal Dupuis, he's on the puck carrier Green, the defenseman. Pascal Dupuis on the right side of the screen right now. He identifies right here. I think he's looking. He moves over at that man Green. He's got to stay with him because Mana's got the wide guy. Instead, the puck goes down to the front of the net, and the back door has to be read by Letang. I think Dupuis did not follow all the way through to the net at that particular moment. So they had the bodies back there. The Penguins are working on identifying on the rush, and they didn't do a good job identifying their men on that particular 3-on-3.
And so it is now 3-1. And Dupre after the puck now. Malkin on the wall. Dupre gets back on defense, and we're going to get a penalty here. A holding penalty coming up. Malkin was being held over there, or was he? Or was he doing the holding? I think Malkin was doing the holding. Maybe not.
No, he just kind of did a flyby to the penalty box.
Yeah. Maybe he thought he was. We invite you to tweet us at Root Sports Pit using the hashtag PensBooth. Send your comments, questions, and thoughts about the Pens. Use the hashtag PensBooth. Brought to you by Point Park University.
Penguins really need one here. Get this #1 ranked power play on the board in this 3-1 hockey game.
Severson in the box. UPMC Sports Medicine power play for the Penguins. Gino with it now. In front, Hornquist. Backhand try by Kunitz off the stick. Crosby looks around for it. Can't find it. Interesting that Elias continues to be used here as a penalty killer for New Jersey.
Yeah, he was out there for the big face-off, so he's on the bench here right now.
Drop pass. Crosby to Malkin. Back around for Sid. Zubras comes out to confront Letang, who finds Malkin. Slap shot. Stopped in front. Loose around the net. Crosby looks for it. Still loose, and Schneider's on top of it. Well, the Penguins have been all around that goal cage, just swarming the net, but the puck staying out somehow. This time it's underneath the goaltender in the paint.
And look at this, Steggy. Just much like Kunitz, Hornquist, watch him push Schneider. The bolt, look at him. He pushed him. You can see the flex on Hornquist's stick trying to push Schneider, his whole 210 pounds, into the net. Watch the flex on the stick. Look at it. It almost snapped his stick in half trying to push that through. And you saw that on the previous replay that they called no goal Penguins. You try to push the goaltender's pad. We got another whistle here over the penalty box. They're going to take another look to see if that puck was possibly underneath the netminder Schneider and over the goal line again. Okay, I guess not. I'm going to drop the puck. And you got to play to the whistle, and that's what the Penguins are doing right now. You got Kunitz and Hornquist down there living in that blue paint.
They're trying to get an ugly goal on the power play. Here's Crosby. Face-off won by Josefson, and the Devils clear. Merrill slapped it hard past Letang up high, so he couldn't flag it down, and Fleury sets it up. Minute 8 to go on the penalty to Severson.
Penalty killing's really struggled for the Devils, Staggy, hasn't it, this year? And the only change really is no Volchenkov on the backside. He's moved on.
Well, we have seen with the Penguins, those numbers can be misleading. They get a little funk, and all of a sudden you're the worst team in hockey for a while, but they have a shorthanded goal in this one.
Yep.
They've looked good on their penalty kill so far. They've frustrated the Penguins here. Here's Letang with it. Again, the Penguins are going to have to regroup.
They're taking away a lot of space over there on the wall. You see how they're forcing Letang to make a play over there. Too many men on the ice possibly? What do we got?
New Jersey minor penalty, too many men on the ice.
Yeah, the Devils get caught on a bad change here. Too many men on the ice. as the puck came out to the neutral zone. And then Peter DeBoer, that's about as animated as you're going to see him. Let's take a look as this puck goes out past the defenseman. 4 Devils on the ice. And they're going to try to get a change here. 60 Josefson, and there's a man jumping on. And they're going to say that he played the puck while 5 guys were still on the ice. And that was a good call.
So a 2-man advantage for the Penguins. 36 seconds remaining on the first penalty. Big face-off here for Crosby against Henrique. And Crosby smashes it to the wall as he's prone to do. Penguins control. Malkin with it. Malkin fakes the shot, works it down low. Back up top. Malkin shot, he scores!
Kenny Malkin from the point on the 5-on-3, the third 5-on-3 power play goal for the Penguins this season. Puck goes low, goes high, is one time up over the left shoulder of Snyder. And our Allegheny Health Network Supermo shows exactly where that puck went in over Snyder. Too many men on the ice. You talk about a game changing. It has just changed.
Malkin has 4 goals this year, and all 4 of them are on the power play. He's putting up more numbers this year than he has in previous years. He had only 77 goals in 60 games last year on the power play. He's already got 4 this season. Here's Sutter shooting. That blocked by Salvador. Sutter after it again, sends it around near side to Mata. Sutter to Dupuis. Shot by Ehrhoff is sticked away by Schneider. Mata back to the front of the net, but the Devils with a quick stick from Andy Green. Able to break it up and clear it back into the Penguin zone. Down to 1:07 to go on that second penalty. Reed Boucher is serving it. And Kenny Malkin with that rifle shot. Giving the Penguins their second goal, and the crowd very much alive right now as we get a whistle in the neutral zone.
Yeah, hand pass. Zoli Mata was trying to flag down a fly ball and he got knocked over. One more look at the goal 5-on-3 situation because of the too many men in the ice for the Devils. Puck goes low, it goes high, it goes, and the shot goes high up over that left shoulder of Snyder, who's down in the butterfly position and deep in his net because he had to respect Hornquist, the passer.
I think it's interesting that Gino's moving around on the power play, and he's playing the left side, and yet he's been more of a weapon this year than usual. And I think it may be because Hornquist is there. Here's Hornquist down the wing, sending it back around behind. He may just give Malkin that much more room to shoot pucks, get himself open for chances. Here's Hornquist with it again. Crosby to Malkin again. He shoots it just wide. Trying to shoot it back against the green. Crosby to Letang. Back to Sid. Crosby fakes the shot. Chris Letang looking for his first goal. To Crosby. Dumps it across the rink for Malkin. Back around for Sid. 11 seconds on the penalty. Kunitz with it. Sid goes to the goal line. Now on his backhand, he finds Malkin. Back to Crosby to Letang. Shoot it, Chris. Nope. He goes across, and the shot by Kunitz stopped. And the rebound. Hornquist can't get to it. Boucher comes on the ice. He sneaked in behind Letang. Now he's going to get the puck off the carom. Boucher shoots in a flurry. Able to throw his body up against the post to make the save. A close call there.
Yeah, it really was.
Spalling for Letang. Letang just not pulling the trigger on the power play. He's just reluctant to shoot. And you get the feeling that sometimes there is a shot there for him, but maybe he doesn't see it that way.
Well, he sees Malkin and Crosby out there as well, and that sometimes is the issue. You defer to those guys.
Helena hammers one wide of the goal off the corner boards. The Penguins get to it first. Ehrhoff sent it up the wall, but now Zidlichki shoots it through a screen wide. Yager takes it. Jaromir Yager.
Took a while for the Bluebirds to come out. Yager carrying the puck.
Paul Martin stayed right with him. Como dumps it in. It'll Yaron Jelena going back for it for New Jersey. 8:08 to go in the second period. And the Penguins back to within one. Dupre with it. Ryder took it away and fired it towards the point. It goes back into the Devils zone. Severson. Shea's shot is blocked. Henrique gets over to get it. Now it's Ryder with it. He's got a quick release. He usually is good for at least one goal a year against the Penguins. Severson's shot blocked by Downey. He felt that as he hobbles back to the bench.
He got that right on the laces and yeah, slowly to the bench.
Severson, nice pass up the left wing, but off the stick of Boucher because it broke Boucher's stick. And Hornquist takes a long pass with the break. Shoots. He scores!
Well, one of the Devils broke his stick trying to receive a pass, and the puck went right to Simon Dupre, made a beautiful carom off the wall to Hornquist. Here's the pass, there's a broken stick. So Dupre gets it, he looks up, goes off the wall to Hornquist, and that bad angle shot beats Snyder to the short side and over the glove hand. A perfectly placed shot by Hornquist, under the bar, over the shoulder. And the Penguins have tied the game at 3.
That's the first goal that Hornquist has scored in his career against the Devils in 6 tries. So Hornquist happy. You could see him. He was just elated to have finished that play off beautifully. So the Penguins come roaring back and they tie the game at 3 on goals by Malkin and Hornquist. It's 3-3.
Well, Mike, it's 3-3. You haven't found much momentum. How do you keep it against this club?
Well, it's challenging, as you saw. The power plays for them in the first period, I thought, gave them some momentum. And then for us in the second here, those power plays help us capitalize. That was a turning point on the goal. I thought when we didn't get the goal and they scored, I really thought we started to pick up our energy. And obviously now we're starting to at least create some more things offensively.
All right, keep it going.
Thanks, Bob.
Mike Johnston from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, right down the road from Cole Harbour, where Sidney Crosby is from. From the draw, it is controlled by Chris Letang and over to Ole Mata.
So I think you could give the fans some credit too, because they weren't happy with the no-goal call on that replay, and then they started getting behind their hockey team. Then they started booing Yager a little bit, and they got involved in this hockey game.
Yeah, we got that big board, that huge screen here. You got your own situation room right here at Casal Energy Center. Here's Malkin with it. Over to Letang in front of the net. Letang just golfs it back up into the Devil's zone. Zelichki goes back to get it, and it's an icing call against Pittsburgh. McDonald's high school football continues as we head into the WPIAL playoffs already. Be here for our first round matchup. Montour against Mars, a AAA showdown. It kicks off live this Friday at 7:30 on Root Sports. Mars is one of the most dangerous teams to hit the road. Last week, previously undefeated Hampton was beaten by them, and Montour has won 7 of their last 8. Should be a great matchup right here on Root Sports.
Malkin just got kicked out. I think the Penguins moved on the face-off again, and Dupuis got to take the draw.
Yager's on the ice right now for New Jersey.
No, they're putting Malkin back in.
How nice of them. Yager is there, and Zajac will take the draw against him, against Malkin. And now from the draw, it is Dupuis getting control of it. Yager takes it away, though. Yager doesn't have to be moving his feet. He's such a great stick handler, and he's got that big wide space and big rear end. He's able to protect the puck, even when he's not moving his feet. Here's Zubris for Yager. Yager tries to go around Letang. He took it away, but then got it right to the point where it's held by the Devils. Here's Severson shooting. He just took something off that. There's a good shot down low that just missed on the stick side of Fleury. And you can see why Severson is dangerous. He makes good passes, and he's got a good shot, and he seems to have a nice touch on that shot. Here's Mata with it now, up the near side for Spaulding. And just out of the reach of Sutter. Now it flutters up over the glass and into the seats on the near side. Lots of goals here in the second period, and right now it's an even-Steven proposition.
To look at the captain for the Penguins, who's busy tonight, was also busy yesterday. Great stuff from the Dick's Sporting Goods in Cranberry on Monday, where the Penguins took part in the Salvation Army's Project Bundled Up. As part of the annual Penguins Personal Shopping Day, players were paired with local middle school children and shopped for new clothing. It marks the 8th year that the Penguins and Dicks have hosted this event. Project Bundle Up. Good stuff, guys.
Penguins, they are very active in the community, and they like doing it. It shows. It's genuine. Here's Kunitz now jamming it up into the Devils zone. Back to get it goes John Merrill. Kunitz chasing him as he reverses it smartly back to Zidlichki. He'll lift it out to the neutral zone, and Paul Martin will go back and get it. Reed Boucher rides him into the boards, but he protects the puck. Moves it along for Hornquist, who slides it ahead for Crosby. Relays it on now to Ehrhoff. And he'll look right wing for Crosby. Merrill over ahead of him to bank it up off the glass. Stayed in play, and the Devils will counter. Crosby heads to the bench, as does Hornquist. In to get the puck is Craig Adams. Martin there, though. Look at Martin. Just coolly stick handle, slide it up the boards for Gotch and out to center ice. Again, Martin stops it. It comes right to Adams. Ehrhoff to Martin. Back behind for Adams. Jumped off his stick. Sillover couldn't get a hold of it. Now it's Giunta. Ehrhoff turns him to the wall. Sillover to try to get it. As is Ehrhoff. The Devils outnumber the Penguins and win the battle. And now the shot is kicked out by Fleury.
Oh boy, that was a redirect by Giunta in front. Big save by the Flyers.
Andy Green, the man who shot it from the blue line. And now Ehrhoff.
That penalty here.
They do have another one. The Penguins still gets possession. That brings the whistle and the penalty. So the Penguins' fourth line had trouble on that shift, and Paul Martin was out there for an extended shift, as was Ehrhoff, and the Penguins couldn't get out of their own zone.
Yeah, the Penguin forwards were able to change. It wasn't a good one. Adams gave the boarding penalty here. Let's take a look. There's the cross check into the boards. The Allegheny Health Network Super Mo showing you that. So a power play here for the Devils.
Klo, Ryder, Eliash, Zidlichki, and Bruner, the second power play unit for the Devils, is on. The Penguins, Brandon Sutter and Dupuis up front on the penalty kill, and the Devils won the draw. Big face-off win. Shot by Ryder, and that is blocked. And Olimata wrists it hard, or just hard enough to get it past the stick of Bruner. Forward playing the point on the power play. He'll go back into his own zone to get it. Dupuis did a little flyby there, gave him a little whack as Bruner will now stick handle, wending his way up the ice. He drops it back. Michael Ryder. Zidlichki. Ryder hit heavily by Sutter. Letang to Scuderi, and Scuderi leads the Penguins in ice time per game, averaging about 3:13, something like that, 3.5, 2:20, something like that, a shorthanded time. And he's a very, very effective penalty killer. Here is Ryder with it, dropping it off to Klo. Bruner across, Zidlichki with it. Looking for a redirect in the slot, that didn't work. Klo drops it off to Bruner again. Back to Klo. Bruner, Zidlichki. Martin gets over, strips him of the puck, but Elias centers. Ryder got a stick on it. Martin reaches in. So does Gotch. Gotch fighting to try to get to the puck, but Klo got there and he got it to Zidlichki. 40 seconds to go on the penalty. A wrist shot by Zidlichki went wide. Ryder gets it off the carom. Sends it around now for Klo. Gotch comes over. Klo protects the puck. Elias dummied the play and let the puck come through to Bruner, who sends it right into the slot off a stick. Zidlichki over to play it. Now Gotch trying to get it out, and finally it comes out to center, and now down to 20 seconds to go on the Adams penalty. Ryder stays on the ice around Martin, but his backhand can't pull the trigger. Martin took it away, and then Como able to get it back to center.
The Penguins do get that change.
And the second unit was on the whole time for the Devils. They never got Yager out there. Now Henrique's on with Zajac. And the Devils find themselves with Adams behind the defense out of the penalty box. And on net, he shoots, he scores! What a crazy second period. Craig Adams.
Take a look
First
at that.
goal in 297 games. That's not right.
Well, look at him come out of the box, Steggy, to get the speed. You see how he curled back to the red line, the other side, just to get speed so that he could get enough speed and momentum to get by Merrill. And as he turned that puck and cradled it backhand to forehand, the puck went up on edge. And that, I believe, helped him elevate it up over the glove hand of Snyder. Not a shorthanded goal, a 5-on-5 goal. The Penguins are up.
And Craig Adams, in his 297th consecutive game, scores his first goal in 12 games. Here's Downey shooting the puck into the Devils' zone. And around to the near side where it's taken by Malkin for Dupuis. And taken away by Zubras. And now it's Salvador banking it off the boards, and where did that go? Found its way into the bench over there on the far side. So Adams comes out, and away he went. We've got what a crazy, crazy second period.
There's Sutter. Adams with speed because he curled and got speed. He just didn't come straight out of the box and across. Had enough momentum, and as he turned it to the forehand, that rolling puck up over the glove hand of Snyder. His first point of the season, and Sutter's first assist. You were mentioned earlier, Staggy, that Sutter had not had an assist this year. Well, now he does.
Now here's the puck jumping up into the seats on the near side with 1:44 to go in the period. Now, this is just not the kind of game it felt like it was going to be. You know what I mean? It was like a plodding sort of a hockey game, and now all of a sudden it's turned into this wild exchange of goals. A shorthanded goal for the Devils, a goal by a player coming out of the penalty box.
Yeah, and really, with the too many men on the ice, the Devils, they don't give up many leads, but no lead is safe this year. 3-1 Devils. Too many men on the ice led to the 5-on-3 Malkin power play goal, and well, all the floodgates opened up.
Ehrhoff. Bruner leans on him. And it was weird how the Devils never really got their top guys on the power play. They just kept that second unit on because they had control on the Penguins' end. Here's Dupre with it. And then they get on and they end up giving up a goal with Adams coming out of the box. Here's Crosby. He shoots and scores. And the Penguins are just filling the net down behind Corey Snyder. It's 5-3.
Tell you, I'm really liking Simon Dupre's game. His composure, the way he keeps his balance and head up, gets the puck to the net. Watch Simon Dupre. He's lugging the puck. He's stopping on a dime. He's creating time and space for himself. He's getting the puck to the net. And when you do that, great things are going to happen. A fortuitous bounce right to the tape of 87. It's 5-3 now. And it seemed only moments ago it was 3-1 Devils.
You don't want to get into a shootout with the Pittsburgh Penguins, even if you're a team that suddenly feels as though you can score more goals. The Devils were feeling that way after having scored a ton of goals in their first two games, 11 to be exact.
Yep. And part of the problem here with the Devils, you say they didn't get the #1 power play. They don't have Camilleri, and he was a huge part of that #1 power play. Not available to New Jersey here, and it's going to be tough without him in the lineup to come back down by 2.
Here's Scuderi now. Over to Martin, who angles one to center. Gionta flags it down. .22 seconds to go in the period.
Yeah, with a win here, the Penguins can move ahead of the New Jersey Devils in the standings.
8 goals on the board, 6 of them here in the second period. Letang feeds it into the Devils zone, right to the net. And there's the horn ending period number 2.
Well, Staggy, you said there was 6 in the second. There was one that was pretty close that went to review. They called it no goal, but maybe that jump-started this Penguin team.
And the Adams and Crosby goals scored 1:14 apart. Let's go now to Robin Jay for our second intermission.
Staggy and Bob, thanks very much. And kind of a ho-hum looking event here, 3-1, and a call goes against you, and all of a sudden, bang, the Penguins erupt, and they're up 5-3.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in New Jersey, you're going to say, we really had too many men on the ice. And the one thing you can't do is give the #1 power play unit, the Pittsburgh Penguins, you give them an opportunity to go 5-on-3, that turned the whole game right there.
No question
and Pittsburgh
about it.
just jumped all over them, and they've continued.
So the Penguins have a lead 5-3 after 2 periods of play. One of the goal scorers, Craig Adams. Dan Potash going to catch up with him when we return. It is a beautiful night in Pittsburgh, and it's a beautiful night to be a Penguin fan through 40 minutes of play. Hope you're not just joining us. In case you are, here's what you missed.
Takes a long pass with a break, shoots, he scores! And the Devils find themselves with Adams behind the defense out of the penalty box in a net. He shoots, he scores! Here's Crosby, he shoots and scores. And the Penguins are just filling the net now behind Corey Schneider at 5-3. So the game really opening up, and sometimes these games settle back down again, Bob, and sometimes they don't. I mean, I don't know what to expect here in the third period.
Well, you want to stay out of the penalty box. I know that. You don't want them to play with fire and give the Devils any reason to get excited in this hockey game. And one guy I'm excited about is Simon Dupre. I think he's been fantastic again. And he's made a couple of good stretch passes. That was the backdoor play to Hornquist. What a laser shot. That was a beautiful shot. And then he rushed the puck all the way up the ice, just got it to the net with a little bit of patience. And Sidney Crosby put the 5th goal in behind Schneider. So Simon Dupre with more and more ice time and a +3 so far in this hockey game already. And he's been a big plus player in his career. And it continues right now. Well, that's a man that can get you back into a hockey game. Jaromir Jagr, 1,762 career points, 707 career goals, one shy of Mike Gardner, 6th all time. See if he's got something up his sleeve.
And from the draw, the puck goes right into the seats on the near side. You know, you'd have to go back to April of '93, Bob, to find the last time that the Penguins played a team without Marty Brodeur on their roster. It was late April '93. The Penguins tied the Devils 6-6. And it ended the Penguins' 17-game winning streak, that famous winning streak, with a record that still exists today. That was the last time the Penguins played a Devils team without Brodeur on the roster. Tonight, Corey Schneider is the #1 goalie. Scott Clemenson is the backup. And Marty Brodeur is looking for work. Mario looking on. We talked about scoring titles. Lots of them on the ice tonight. 2 for Malkin, 2 for Crosby, 5 for Jagr, and 6 for Mario upstairs. There's all the banners hanging here at the Shaw Energy Center. Shot by Henrique, stopped by Fleury on the short side. Jagr trying to maintain possession of the puck. Turns it along for Zubris, who dumps it up into the corner, and Scuderi goes back to play it. And what's this? An offside call. They'll drop it outside the Pittsburgh blue line. 23 shots for the Penguins, 14 for the Devils. That's the Penguins' DNA right there. Scoring, offense. And of course, the Devils have been historically known for defense. And the Penguins, of course, got that draft pick, Mario Lemieux, back in '84. And the Devils ended up with Kirk Muller. And the Devils have been a very successful team in their own right under Lou Lamoriello. And always a tough opponent for the Penguins every year. Here's Olimata with it. Throws it rink wide, and skating back forward is Bryce Salvador. Injuries held him to only 40 games last year. He'd like to have a full season. Here's Cloh with it to Elias. Fleury makes the save on Patrick Elias. He was open on the left wing. Green with it. Cloh is bumped, knocked off balance by Kunitz. Hornquist reached for the puck. He couldn't get it. Green over to Severson, but Crosby got right at his face, and now Kunitz for Hornquist. Severson to Green. Andy Green, pressured by Malkin, turns, hanks it off the boards ahead for Josephson. Malkin trying to take it away from him. Como does get a stick in there to get possession. Drops it back to Simon Dupre.
Devils still down by 2. They're still playing the trap. It won't change.
Dupre is paired up with Ehrhoff at the moment. And this is Ryder. And off the stick of Dupre. And had Fleury ducking as it went off the glass. Dupre knocked a man off balance again on the near side. It was Boucher, but the Devils have the puck. It's Josefson. Boucher there against Dupuis. Pokes it in behind the net, and Dupre up the wall. And it goes all the way down into the Devils' zone.
Won't be a nice day, but that was a Ryder chance, came off a Penguin turnover off the trap of the Devils. And you just got to get the red line here and live to fight another day. This is a chance again. The Penguins are up by 2 goals. Puck management at a premium here in the third period.
Adams comes to center. Dumps it in behind. Merrill goes back to get it. Sill threw his body into Merrill. They both went down. Sill gets back up as the Devils try to come out of their own zone. They do get it to center. Tuomo Ruutu chasing Letang back over to Olimata. And back to Letang. Right up the middle, steered in by Sill. Zajac back to get it, sends it in behind. And a quick out for the Devils as they get it to Ruutu. Carries down the off wing. Trying to swing around Mata, but Letang comes over to help out Mata beautifully. Over to center. And the Penguins try to get it out. Zidlicki pinched. Sutter, though, able to get up the wall there and then just backhand it into the Devils' zone. Henrique in the neutral zone. Downey had it for a moment, but then Jágr forced it back up into the Penguins' end. Scuderi hard around. Falling got a stick on him, but it goes right to Henrique, and Sutter takes it away from him. Sutter against Salvador now, trying to drive to the net, and he's hauled down. And he did get a shot away. And it will be a holding penalty, and the Penguins will be back to work on a power play. Excellent move by Sutter. He caught Salvador flat-footed as he was cutting down that right side.
I love this play, the Fedorov play, when you throw the puck between the player's stick and his skate, right there. And you just cut in close to the player. He can't play with a stick because you're putting it right near his feet. Look at this. Right there. Oh, I love that play. Cutting in there with the body lean, gaining position on the defender, and being forced to be hauled down there. What a beautiful play by Sutter. Sergei Fedorov, he perfected that move coming off the other side. A left-handed shooter, former Detroit Red Wing amongst other teams.
Penguins are 1 for 3 on the power play with 7 power play shots. UPMC Sports Medicine power play for the Penguins, looking to add to their lead.
Yeah, looking not to give up on this lead either. You don't want to give up a shorthanded goal here.
Malkin's on the ice with Letang at the points. Gino's got it. Out to Crosby. Slap shot off a stick. Malkin will hunt the puck to the near wall. Evgeny Malkin with Kunitz in the slot. Hornquist was in front. Now it's Crosby at the point. Letang comes over to get there ahead of Gianta.
All these players, Zajac, Gianta, these players can score. Zubris coming out here shorthanded now. And the Devils indeed will try any opportunity or bouncing puck, much like the Josefson goal. Here you go.
Green with it, shooting off the stick of Letang up into the netting. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Marc-Andre Fleury coming off his 29th shutout against the Nashville Predators. Pick up an assist in that game. 292 career wins for Marc-Andre Fleury. Boy, he was not welcomed into this game, Staggy. 9 seconds in, it was 1-0 Devils.
Here's Ehrhoff with it. 40 seconds to go on the penalty. Sutter stick handles into the offensive zone, and then it's knocked down on the near wall. Gets back up. Green sent him to the ice. Sutter keeps working. And the puck out to center, where it's handled by Olimata. Over to Christian Ehrhoff, playing in his 700th NHL game tonight. To Brandon Sutter. Downey trying to get a hold of it. He's got it. He's got a man open. It's Dupuis. He shoots. He scores! He was wide open.
Oh, what a play. You
getting everybody involved right now. Downey had over 20 assists last year. He can make plays. And wide open on the back door was Dupuis. He stopped it just for a second, waited for the netminder to go down. Take a look. Stop, wait, and chip it up. That is perfect hockey right there. Pascal Dupuis. Yes, he's turned into a goal scorer. Again, a rolling puck, but I like the way he did one time, and he stopped it. He assessed the situation, waited for the goalie to get down, and up over Clemenson, who's in the cage.
Yep, Scott Clemenson is the goaltender, and Dupuis buried it on him. We talked about the goalie situation in New Jersey. Clemenson had been the backup to Brodeur before. This is his second tour of duty with the Devils. He's in the net right now. The Penguins now lead 6-3. Spalling with it now, and he backhands it off the glass and out to center. It's been all Penguins. I mean, it's just been unbelievable since that too many men on the ice penalty to the Devils.
Yeah, you get the Devils out of their game. Now you're forcing them to open up, try to get back into a hockey game. They don't have Camilleri available, and now they're down by 3.
This is the second time that Schneider has been replaced by Clemenson in a hockey game. Washington Capitals beat the Devils 6-2 earlier. So now it's 6-3 Pittsburgh. So this is the second time the Devils have had the net filled on them and had to switch goalies. Josephson with it. Hornquist trying to get him off the puck, and he does. And Kunitz banks it off the glass and out to center ice. Salvador dumps it right back in, but right on the stick of Hornquist, who gains the red line and backhands it into the Devils zone. Penguins clear. Letang just used the glass to get it back.
Great thing here, you can get all the lines on the ice now. The Penguins' fourth line motor. You just keep rolling them over right now.
Severson ahead to Zubris, who opened the game 9 seconds in. He scored for the Devils. And you thought, well, maybe this was going to be a great night for New Jersey. Well, look what's happened. The Penguins have roared back, down 3-1 in the game. They turned it around and scored 6 unanswered goals. That's incredible. Malkin, Hornquist, Adams, Crosby, Dupuis. Amazing. Amazing explosion. 5 unanswered. It wasn't it. Here's Dupuis. Armada over to Gotch. Closing in, and Gotch pulls up. Sends it back into the corner. Taken there by Como. In behind now. Dupuis goes to work. Como steps out. Out to Ehrhoff. His shot in the leg. And Dupre gets to the puck. In behind the net, Dupuis still hustling. Doesn't seem to matter what the score is. The Penguins are just playing with that energy now. They want more. Here's Malkin bringing it up high. Trying to get it to the net. Malkin controls the puck for Ehrhoff to the front of the goal. Dupuis looks for it. Cleared. Gianta ahead to Jelena, the defenseman. He'll lead the charge and shoot it high to the net. Love down by Fleury, over to Dupre. Back in behind the goal where it's taken by defenseman Christian Ehrhoff. Over to Dupre. Icing with 11:18 to go in the third. On the latest edition of In the Room, see how Sidney Crosby thinks a new staff and new players will benefit the team with some healthy competition. Here, Pascal Dupuis mic'd up for the Penguins season opener and much more. In the Room tonight after postgame on Root Sports. Penguins have called timeout, Bob.
Yep.
On an icing?
Icing call. Simon Dupre didn't connect. You got some tired bodies out there. You only have one timeout. You might as well use it right now. Smart time. Well, it's been a game, Steggy. We've seen a lot of good defensemen in this hockey game. You mentioned Severson on one side. Talk about Ole Matt on another. One good young defenseman that's not playing for the Devils, Adam Larsson. He's only played one game. He's a healthy scratch right now for the Devils. He's finding it tough to get into the lineup.
Taken 4th overall in the draft. I think you'd have to say he's been a disappointment when you think of the guys who kind of moved ahead of him. Even a guy who was taken in that same draft, Jonas Brodin in Minnesota, has really become a mainstay with the Wild. He was taken later in the first round, and Larsson was the top-rated defenseman, and another Swede has actually surpassed him. Here's a shot off the faceoff from Jelena and gloved down by Marc-Andre Fleury.
He's a good young defenseman, Jelena, who's got a big shot from the point. The timeout, a face-off, a whistle, and a change. Dupuis, his fourth on the board.
Well, the Devils come to Pittsburgh after Saturday's stop in Ottawa. The first time in an NHL game was played there since the tragic events of last week in the capital of Canada. That is home for the Devils' Eric Jelena. His stepfather served in the Canadian military there for 25 years, and his stepbrother still lives in Ottawa and also serves in the military. In fact, he was on standby after the news broke. Before Saturday's game in Ottawa, Eric visited the National War Memorial, where a Canadian military reservist was gunned down, guys.
Tragic day in Canada. Of course, everyone in the hockey world did their part to pay tribute. There's the puck taken now by Brandon Sutter, and he comes ahead with Downey. Downey on the right wing with Sutter, shoots it to the net, steered away by Clemenson. Clough just one hands it up the wall. Elliott brought it to center, but only Mata. Now over to Letang. And the Penguins, Letang holds the puck waiting for reinforcements and then dumps it to the corner. Zidlichki around now for Jelena. Off the stick of Kunitz. Ryder. Out of the reach of Boucher. And there's Dupre again, looking back this time for Ehrhoff. Dupre has been paired up with Ehrhoff a lot here. Scuderi not with Dupre at the moment. And the puck out of play over there in the corner.
Well, let's take a look at our Subway sandwich of the evening. Zach Sill on Patrick Elias. That's a rude awakening for the 38-year-old. I don't talk much about Patrick Elias. Zach Sill getting more ice time here in this third period of play with the Penguins up by 3. But Patrick Elias, 394 career goals, 594 career assists for 988 points, Staggy. He's been pretty quiet in this hockey game.
Zidlichki with it. The slapper, ouch. Dupuis took that, fell down, got back up, trying to get the puck, can't do it. Zubris has it, turning back, leaving it for Salvador, and a good glove save by Fleury on Bryce Salvador.
Oh boy, Pascal Dupuis hurting right now, guys. Took that one right off the toe cap. Fleury's looking good.
You know what? I know I'm going to be fine, and I haven't really been that worried about it because I know we have a great medical staff here, and they're going to take care of me.
Well, there he is, 20 years of age.
Coming up on Thursday night is the Penguins night for Hockey Fights Cancer Month. Every team has a special night. We'll be wearing our ties and doing our part.
They repair the ice.
It's kind of ironic that this news about Olli Mata would come out right in the middle of that. This brings that much more awareness and more sensitivity to the whole subject. Here's Eric Jelena working it into the corner, and Christian Ehrhoff sends it up the wall, and Patrick Hornquist turns it back to neutral ice. Kunitz steaming ahead for the puck. Jelena cuts him off. And then Hornquist around for Crosby, who immediately finds Dupre at the point, sends it right back into the corner. Kunitz. Kunitz was tripped.
Yeah,
Ruutu took the penalty, and he'll go to the box, and the Penguins will get yet another power play opportunity, leading 6-3, and they've got a couple of power play goals in the game.
He was frustrated. He ran into big 47, Simon Dupre, as he's called now. And take a look up at the blue line. There's the hit. Down goes Ruutu. Ruutu gets back up. He takes a penalty. A trip on Kunitz. And I just wanted to add, Staggy, we don't know for sure if the tumor, Olli Mata's tumor is cancerous or not. We'll know that when they take it out.
That is true. They say 85% chance. Here's Crosby. And let's hope that 15% is the case. Let's hope for the best. Here's Malkin now for Sidney Crosby. Kunitz. Penguins with the man advantage. UPMC Sports Medicine power play. There's another hit by Salvador. He just gave Hornquist one more parting shot before going to the bench.
Yeah, because Hornquist hit Andy Green from behind, and the whole Devils bench wanted a penalty.
This is Sidney Crosby. A hand down on Blake Como. Como, that speed turns the corner. Centering pass goes all the way through. Downey's in front of the net. Crosby has the puck. He throws it right through the goal mouth. Jakob Josefsson turns it back up into the Penguins zone. By the way, I looked up the numbers, and Blake Como does have 13 points against the Devils. The only team he has more points against is the Rangers with 19.
Delayed penalty. There might be too many men on the ice again for the Devils.
No, I can't believe it.
No, it might be.
I think you're right.
I think they're going to nail him again. They are.
New Jersey penalty, bench minor.
One man in one door, one out the other.
This is the second time they've had a 5-on-3 against them as a result of a bench minor during a penalty kill.
Take a look. One's going to come slowly off the ice. One jumps on and gets into the play before the other one's off. And the referees have had enough.
Off the draw, it's Malkin with it. Penguins looking to get another one on the power play. Centering pass was broken up by Green, and the goaltender Clemenson helping out there as Hornquist tried to center it, and the Devils send it all the way down. Letang's got it 32 seconds to go in that first penalty to Russo. Two-man advantage for the Penguins. It's Kunitz. Back to Malkin. Now to Crosby. Letang. Sid. Kunitz is in front. Malkin's got it. Shot by Letang. He shanked it. And Hornquist finds Letang at the point again. Now to Malkin. He fires and missed the net. Here comes right to Letang. 8 seconds on the two-man advantage. Malkin again shoots, and a save made by Clemenson. Malkin gets it back. Letang shoots it, and it's blocked in front. Hornquist hustles over to maintain possession. Letang taps it for Kunitz. Now Letang's going to go get it. First penalty's over. Minute 5 to go on that second penalty. Penguins have a 5-on-4 now. Kunitz, Hornquist, there. And his shot stopped by the stick of Clemenson. Over to the near side, Malkin to Letang. Now to Kunitz. Kunitz shoots it, and it's blocked in front by Green, who backhands it up the wall and over the stick of Kunitz.
Well, not for a lack of trying. The Penguins, Malkin had 3 good cracks. Letang had a couple from the off wing as well.
Ehrhoff, stick handling. To Olli Mata. Downey doesn't shoot it. It just rolled off his stick and it's cleared. And racing back forward is Christian Ehrhoff with 26 seconds remaining on this penalty. Ehrhoff again. Downey. Hard around. Clemenson can't stop it. Como peels it off the wood. And around now for Downey. Ehrhoff straight away to Sutter. Shoots it. Save made. Rebound Sutter. Stopped by Clemenson. Rebound score! Steve Downey finishes it right on the doorstep.
Well, Steve Downey finished it, but Steve Downey started it as well. He's got great vision. He comes into the offensive zone. He made a couple of great plays. And then the puck gets around to the netminder Clemenson, and the Penguins have been all over the puck. Really on the puck in front of the netminder tonight. Anytime you score 7 goals, Downey on his off wing is able to just shuffle that past Clemenson, who's allowed 2 here in the third period. Snyder relegated to the bench, and for Downey, his first as a Penguin.
And it's another power play goal for the Penguins. They have 3 more tonight. And that won't make the Devils' penalty killing numbers look any better, will it?
No, but you know, they did it to themselves. A couple of bench minors, 5-on-3s, not good. Cost them a hockey game, maybe. It was 3-1 Devils.
Yep, they were sitting pretty. The announcement now on the goal by Downey here in the building. Como and Sutter assisting on it. So Brandon Sutter picks up his first assist of the year, unless he had one earlier tonight. No, he did. He had one on the Adams goal. It was a beautiful pass he made to him, so that's his second assist on the night. And we'll return to Consol Energy Center in a moment. Steve Downey is now officially a goal scorer for the Penguins. Well, we could have a whole 6-pack of Miller Lights for you. 6 straight goals for the Penguins. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
How about that shot by Hornquist? Wow, there's no room there, is there?
And a couple of goals that were literally right directly underneath the crossbar. That goal by Malkin earlier.
Yep. And for Steve Downey, career goal 60, 15 on the power play in the career of Steve Downey, his first as a Penguin, as you mentioned.
Here's Zach Sill. He's looking for his first. Here's Josefson pushing it in, but it's going to be offside. 7 different goal scorers. The Penguins have got a 7-goal game against the Devils here tonight. 6 against the Ducks, 5 against the Leafs. So they're really, once again, one of the offensive powerhouses in the game. The Penguins 3 for 6 on the power play tonight with 14 shots with the man advantage out of the 32 that they have.
Pascal Dupuis went into Nashville with a career total of 2 power play goals. He's got 2 power play goals in the last 2 hockey games.
John Merrill goes back for the puck. Adams hits it. Gotch flipped it to the net. Clemenson was ready. Josefson to Ryder, to Josefson, to Boucher. Fleury the save. Josefson, he just backhanded the rebound, wide of the goal. Just missed, getting his second of the game. Josefson's had a pretty good game tonight for a guy who seems to be relegated to 4th-line duty and hasn't really been able to graduate to being one of the top forwards for the Devils, even though he was a first-round pick and showed a lot of promise in that area.
I think if they want to, if they decide they don't want him as part of their hockey team, I think there'd be a lot of takers, Staggy. He's a guy that is one of those guys under the radar. I think who could help most clubs in the National Hockey League on a regular basis.
Zidlichki with it, back to Salvador. 4:02 to go. Damian Brunner. And that's one thing the Devils have always been noted for is discipline. Not taking bad penalties. Not putting themselves in a position where they beat themselves. This has not been a typical Devil performance here tonight, although they haven't played as well here in Pittsburgh as they have in New Jersey.
Well, take a look at goals against per season, and the Devils have been annually one of the best teams defensively, but this year that has shot up. Goals against 3 per game. It's going to go up from tonight's game. The Penguins slightly gone up as goals have in the National Hockey League, but this Devil team, without Martin Brodeur, as you said, Steggy, you had to go way back, and they've given up a few more this year than they'd like.
Corey Schneider's the man. They're talking about him maybe playing 75 games. If he does, that'll be the first time that's been done since Brodeur did it in 09-10. Another goal. Crosby. He rifles it in. Unbelievable. That was a wicked slap shot.
Yeah, that was a bad goal let in by Clemenson. This wasn't really even in the corner. I think Clemenson thought it was going to his glove hand, and Crosby gave it the old Rob Brown, opened up the blade at impact, and went to the blocker side. I had a good look at this, and for Clemenson, he wants that back for sure. The bench not happy here.
Is that deflected? May have gone off a stick, Bob.
May have just clipped the stick. I didn't see that, but I'd have to take another look.
Well, maybe not. I'm looking at the replay on the big board here, and the second replay, it didn't look like it changed direction. On the one we just showed here on our telecast, it looked like it did. In any event, you're right. He blew it by him on the short side, blocker side. So Sidney Crosby has joined the goal-scoring parade. Again, he's got his second of the night. He got one a while back in the second period barrage.
Now
Fleury's going to the bench. Then there'll be another power play for the Penguins with 2:56 to go.
Well, it's just a bad play by Ryder. I mean, he just reached out and grabbed Ole Mata. Gave him a horse collar, and take one more look at Sid's goal. Steggy, for you? No, didn't hit anything. It was just a short side laser shot, and that's just a bad play by Ryder.
8 goals for the Penguins, and they're looking to get 9.
This is really going to put a dent in your penalty killing, and for the Penguins power play, it's just ascending to heights we haven't seen.
It's 3 for 6, looking to go 4 for 7.
Got to go back to that old Penguin power play, Staggy.
Well, the only Penguin power play that had a better percentage going into this game through 7 games was back in 1995-96. And that was a power play that included Jaromir Jagr, Peter Nedved, Ron Francis, Mario Lemieux, and Sergei Zubov. And sometimes Tomas Sandstrom, just great players. And they got off to a torrid start, just as this one has.
New Jersey penalty to number 17, Michael Ryan. 2 minutes for holding.
We're down to 2:11 to go here in the third period. The Penguins leading 8-3. Rob Scuderi's out here on the power play.
So Sill and Adams. Sill's had enough. He's coming off the power play, but he's got a big smile on his face, and that's a good thank you from the coach there. You've got to go back to 1991 to find the last time the Penguins put up 8 against the Devils.
Dupre for Downey. Sutter's on now. Como has to retreat. 30 seconds to go on the penalty to Ryder. Dupre to Como. Downey. Jelena on him. Devils clear. Josefson heads back off.
Jelena cross-check Downey as he tried to turn and protect the puck, and Downey just went head first into the board.
You know the Devils will remember this game. The Penguins play them 5 times, a total of 5 this year, so 4 more meetings between these two teams. 53 seconds to go in regulation in the third period here. The Penguins now back in a 5-on-5 situation here with the Devils, and the puck leaves the playing surface. Look at the schedule here.
Well, there he is, the architect of the 95 power play. There's a look at it right there. Good job, boys.
Ron Francis getting a goal, and another one here on a slap shot. He played the point.
Yeah, Jagr and Mario. Nice.
Very nice. Next game for the Devils they'll be here on December 2nd. They're back in Pittsburgh. And we assume that maybe Camilleri and Havlat will be back in the lineup by then, so they'll have some more firepower, and they'll also be looking for revenge and redeem themselves for what has been a disastrous meltdown. 10 seconds to go in the hockey game. The Penguins are going to leapfrog the Devils in the standings too with this win. They now have 11 points to 10 points for the Devils, so they jump in the standings by virtue of an 8-3 win here tonight. And Simon Dupre is our McDonald's player of the game.
Well, he's been physical. He picked up a pair of assists to go along with that +3 and showed the composure the rest of the team did. They were down 3-1, 7 unanswered. Wow. Take that to the bank.
And it didn't look good there for a while. Things were going against the Penguins, but they took advantage of a mistake by the Devils and a too many men on the ice penalty while they already were in a position of killing one. The Penguins scored on a 5-on-3, and the floodgates open. And the Penguins win at 8-3. Let's go to Robin Jay.
Staggy and Bob, thanks very much. And that was a turning point, Jay. You identified it before the third period. And then the Penguins, you said, keep going. They kept going, and they put this thing away with 7 unanswered goals.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I mean, they're built a certain way. I mean, they're wired. You got guys that are going to go. The key was to go, and you and I talked about it and I'm sure they talked in the locker room. You can't hold them back, but you got to be smart in situations, and then they just took it over. I mean, they took it over, and Jersey handed them a lot of great opportunities. And that power play, no matter who's, I mean, you go from one unit to the second unit cashed in, and then Jersey just, that was all she wrote for that point.
Penguins win by the final score of 8-3. Coming up next on Penguins Post Game, we will have extended highlights of this victory We also have post-game reaction. Jay will tell us straight. We'll look forward to the game coming up against the defending champion LA Kings. All that and more coming up next on Penguins Post Game.